Okay, so let's take a look at how we can plot the line plot in Python using Matplotlib library, right? So open console and let's see, first thing we want to install this Matplotlib library. So we type in pip install matplotlib, right? Also do note that make sure you have latest version of Python for installing this particular library, so that everything that you follow here should work. Right now, next thing, we can either use Jupyter notebook, which will open the classic interface. Alternatively, you can also use Jupyter Dash Lab. Right, using Jupyter Dash Lab should open this browser and new interface for Jupyter Lab with option to choose the programming language, kernel, etc. So let me close this. Here you see the notebook, then we have console and various other options, right? So here you can see, if you have Python dependent Jupyter, you can have Jupyter within console and notebook. Also you have option for R if you have connected that. Right, so in my case, let's say we are using Matplotlib, so we'll open Python notebook. Right, so next thing, you can use numpy as np and import matplotlib dot pyplot as plt. Right, so once this import statements away, we can also create custom data. So np dot and space, then we use 0, 10 all the way to say up to 25, right? Then we have y equals to np dot, say I want to use a formula sine of x, right? So then I will use x by 2. Right, now I can go for the figure and axis, right? Those are part of plt dot subplots, right? Then we will use ax and then call for our plot function, which is for line plot. There isn't any specific, all we have to do is we will just have to pass our x and y data, right? And then finally plt dot show. Hopefully I didn't made any errors, so if we run this, it should show us the line plot, right? So this is the data that is being plotted on xy axis. As you can see here, we can make various changes and change few things, like say I want to change the line color. I can simply use color equals to, within double quote, use R, right? And if I select this, it will show you the red within that plot, right? So line is now red. Now we can also change the line width. So for that, let's see, if we use line width set to 4, and if I select this and run it, it will be more thicker, right? There is also line style option. You can remove the line width and add line style, and then within double quote I can use say 2 dash, right? So if I select the para, run this, I will have this dash, right? So we got our line in this form. Similarly, we can also make few changes, like changing the marker, right? So here I can use say marker equals to, and I can use say O, right? And then marker size set to 4 or 5, right? Go with 5. Now select this, and here you see now your line has this dot at the exact place where you have x and y data, right? Now you added the marker. Similarly, I can use format strings. So format strings are, say, something like, I will have to add the double quote and then star g dash. Hopefully that should work. If not, we will take a look at that later. Right, so it seems to be working. Here you notice now the format string is formatting the line into green color. Right, now let's say if you want to draw multiple lines, you will have to add x and y data for multiple lines, right? So what we can do, we can simply get rid of things up to this part and let's add x1 and y1, then x2, y2, right? So that should work for our data. So in space, and then we add 0, 10, 25, right? Then y1 set to np dot sign of x plus x y2, right? It was already there, so accidentally I just removed. So instead of just, I could have added 1 next to the x1 y1, right? So x2 is kind of same, except it will be using cos, right? So we will just change that part. So instead of sine we can add cos, so the angle should change the line as well, right? Rest of the data we will keep it as is, right? So next thing, I can use figure and axis data for plotting the subplot. So plt dot subplots, right? So next thing, ax dot plot x1 y1 and x marker set to, right, o, right? So let's keep it o and not 0, right, which makes it easier for me to remember as well. So we will also add label, which is sign of x plus x by 2, right? So x is uppercase here, let's turn that into lowercase, right? Now we can close the bracket. Now x dot plot, same we will repeat to x2 y2, so x2 y2, right? And then marker set to o, and label here we'll have to mention about cos plus x by 2, right? Now what I can do is I can add ax dot legend, right? And now I will run this, right? Simply by running this I will get the desired output. One blue one is your x1 y1 data, and orange one seems to be for your x2 y2, right? So we managed to draw a line plot with multiple data that we added. So next thing, I can also think of specifying multiple set of data and get some different output within one statement. So x dot plot, and here I can use x1 y1, and then I can use double quotes, and within which I can use c raised to this, and then x2 y2. Now for this we will use t dash dash, close the bracket, right? So we can add remove legend, right? Now let me select all of this and let's run this, and you will have your data in this new line plot where you are getting this multiple set of data by specifying with ax.plot function. Right now there is one more thing that we can do. We can also use a step plot. So to do that, can simply remove our x2 y2, right, and then I can come here and use figure and axis and here subplots. Right now we can use step function. So this should take your x1 y1 and where we can mention post, right? So we close the function as well. So plt.show. Now if I select all of this function and run this, we have our step line, right? So step plot is being plotted this way, right? So you get the idea how to draw your line plot in Python using Matplotlib.